Yeah, I'm early. Always sassy, Jenna. Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. And you know what that means. It's time for AEW Dynamite, but not just any AEW Dynamite, because tonight we mean big business. Featuring maybe, and I don't know, it's just a hunch. Just a little hunch, right? The debut of Mercedes Moné, FKA Sasha Banks, when she was in WWE. I reckon she might be there tonight, but there's loads of good matches announced as well. It's a big show for AEW. The Elite are in action, a very different Elite in action tonight. You've also only got a bloody world title match on the show. Samoa Joe defending against Wardlow. I'm a little bit early. Hello, by the way. Hello, Hazard D's Nuts, DT, Home Alone, Thomas, Jenna, Mark Arthur, Butcher Pete, AJ. Oh, I'm going to try and say that. AJ Wisniewski. It looks Polish. Is it Polish? We will see. Tim, lovely to see you. Ewing, hi. Bride Plays, how are we all doing? Is that a new shirt? It's a very old shirt, actually. I'm bursting out of it, to be honest. It's midnight here in the UK. We're getting going in 3 minutes and 16 seconds. Oh! Make of that what you will. Steve Austin won't be there. But we're getting going. It's a slightly earlier start time for a week or two in the UK because the clocks in the US have gone back, but they're not back here yet. I think that's next weekend after. I don't know when it is. Soon. So it's just midnight till 2 tonight. I'm not jumping on Twitch to play Spyro the Dragon or anything after this. I'm going to bed shortly after. The state of that hair, mate. I know. I'm growing it out, and it's going to look like this for a little bit. It looks like I've headbutted a bird's nest. I'm more than aware of that. Somebody said Jay from the In-Betweeners. Just trying to cover up the hairline issue, obviously. Adam, I'm starving. Get yourself a little chip butty, Dale Davies, obviously. Have you finished my Rizzle? What? Finished my Rise? That was almost a sentence. Yeah, I did. It's over on Twitch. If you want to catch the VODs, they're over on Twitch, twitch.tv/Cultaholic. Thank you very much for joining. Obviously, we don't do many of the AEW Dynamite specials as live streams, so I thought, hey, give it a go. It's in the we're now in the road to WrestleMania. We're like halfway there, aren't we? From when it started? We've got loads and loads of big content coming up over the next few weeks. Loads of feature length stuff, some ranked lists. We've got a new timeline coming soon, so keep an eye on the channel. But yeah, we've the next time that you'll see us streaming, well, fingers crossed anyway, on this YouTube channel is for WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. NXT is going to be over on Twitch with Ross and Jack. There's a lot of stuff coming. Thank you very much to the 300 of you in here right now. We are getting going 1 minute 25 seconds. I'll run through the card. Why not? I'll run through the card. Let me just grab it up because I don't want to forget anything. I think there's 4 matches announced right now for it. Thank you very much, by the way, to Wes Bray, very generously donating $2 Canadian, saying, "May the flame of our love never die." Paying tribute to the late, great wrestling legend that is Lake Palmer. Hell of an influence on the industry. Wes always there with the relevant comments. Appreciate him being here. So, as of 2 days ago, in fact, when I put this up, just in case, I don't think anything new's been added, but we got Samoa Joe versus Wardlow for the AEW World Championship. Wardlow, of course, getting that title opportunity, winning the match at Revolution to become #1 contender. We have got Eddie Kingston, Penta, and Pac, the in-ring return of Pac. We've not seen him in a while, versus Okada and the Young Bucks, a.k.a. the Elite. We got Darby Allin versus Jay White before Darby Allin pisses off to climb Mount Everest. Willow Nightingale versus Riho. And, sorry, there was one more. Chris Jericho and Hook versus the Gates of Agony. Oh, who you got and why? I'm just waiting for my thing to update. I'm on Triller here. There we go. I've got a player now. Let's get going. We're here. Feels like it started early. Is she going to kick things off? Let me just turn that up. Oh, this is going well. Buffering already. Renee Paquette. Okada is there. Goodness me, somebody's here in a very fancy car. I think they might be kicking things off. Is it? Is it? It bloody is, isn't it? Oh, who could it possibly be? It's a fancy car. A boss might be the passenger in something like that. She'll be here tonight. Ben the Tank, thank you very much. What would you do if Kevin Nash casually walked in now with his vintage big sexy singlet on and shouted Wolf back in the house? And then, as he went to leave, tore both of his quads. Well, it's impressive that he even managed to get in. The fact that he's casually walking in, you got to admire that, even if he does mess it up on the way out. Yeah, that trios match, I think, has all the potential to be match of the night. In fact, it's just going to be, isn't it? Be interesting to see what they do with Wardlow tonight. Obviously, I don't expect him to win the thing, but he's somebody who's gone hot and cold so many times throughout his AEW career. I don't think they're going to pull the trigger. I think there's a 1% chance of it happening. But hopefully it doesn't derail him too much. Also on the show tonight, we'll be hearing live from Will Ospreay, bruv. That's not too loud for you. That all good for you? Hope you have a good day. Thanks, Book of Danger. Cheers, mate. I hope you have a good day as well. My day's almost over. 2 more days. 2 more days, 2 more hours, and I'm going to bed. Oh, God, is it happening now? AEW chance. Moné crew. No. Straight in there. Straight bloody in there. They're doing it. Mercedes Moné kicking off big business. She is indeed here. Amazing. What a reaction for her as well. She's not even stepped through the tunnel yet. Well, hey, good stuff. You know what? It's clever. They did it with CM Punk. You get the debut out of the way so the fans aren't chanting for it all night. Looking fantastic as she always does, of course. 7-time women's champion. Crowd going absolutely bonkers. Another of those worst kept secrets, right? Can't wait to see what she does in AEW. Legit, I'm really, really looking forward to it. They did it perfectly. Yeah, I like the fact that they added a little bit. Her car, fancy car. I don't know what sort of car it was, but an expensive car pulling up. She looks buzzing to be there. Of course, as she said, in a few years she'll be back in WWE. No idea why she said that in an interview, but let's celebrate tonight, shall we? The CEO of AEW, according to the gown anyway. Mercedes is here. I like the theme. I like the theme a lot. This is good, isn't it? I'm watching on Triller, and it's. I imagine a lot of people are watching at the same time right now. Don't follow this up with Jericho. Well, we'll see. We'll see. 5 matches to squeeze in tonight, plus a segment with Ospreay. What do you think she does? She's got to go straight for the Women's World title, hasn't she? Oh, she looks buzzing. She looks so happy to be there. Apparently, Naomi and Bayley in the area tonight. I wonder if they'll do a... Was it Robbie McAllister or Rory McAllister? I think it was Robbie. Shoot him in the crowd. They will be hiding their faces. Listen to the crowd, man. Huge. Packed out house as well. I'm really, really excited to see what she does. I think, like Wardlow, women's wrestling has gotten hot and then it's gotten cold in AEW numerous times. How does she do that with her hair? That's so impressive. She's got it bloody spray painted on the back. And I really, really hope that she becomes the catalyst to properly invest the time in women's wrestling. We will see the crowd going bonkers right now. It does sound like Imperium's old theme. I'm glad it's not just me thinking that. Oh, man, listen to this. Relentless. Good stuff. Very nice. I'll let my brightness up. I hope they just let her talk. All we need is a little tease of what she wants to do in AEW. Just let her talk. I'm home. Heard that before. She looks like she's about to burst into tears right now. This is really nice. Her lips quivering.
You guys can feel my heart right now. It's beating out of my chest.
How long before she gets the belt?
But first and foremost,
Take a punt in the chat.
Thank you. Thank you for having my back these past 2 years. Thank you for
I reckon next pay-per-view as well. And I don't think it's a bad thing. Not to say I'm not loving what Tony's doing, by the way. Because I really am.
All of my milestones, all of my titles, all of my moments, the history-making moments. Thank you. And trust me, we are going to be creating so much magic and so many moments together.
Wonder how long her contract is. 3 years? You reckon they've locked her in for? That guy's buzzing.
Because every single one of you, you are the reason that I am here. So thank you.
Feels like she's wrapping up. Give her a bit more time, Tony.
I love you.
CEO. Sure it's 3 years? People saying 5? Oh, it's all speculation. I've not read anything as to the duration of the contract. No idea.
I love you guys.
Hope she's making bank.
And if you only
She is making bank.
If you only knew how much tonight means to me, how much this means to me, how much wrestling means to me. You see, in so many ways, wrestling has changed and saved my life. Wrestling has given me hopes. It has given me a place to dream. And people, legendary people like Eddie Guerrero gave me a place
Go on, Eddie.
to believe that
I can't think of many other female wrestlers with the natural star power that Mercedes displays. Cargill's up there, for sure. But you just see, like, sorry, I almost call her Sasha every time. You see Mercedes and you just know she's a massive deal. Hell of a wrestler, obviously.
a woman's evolution.
Charlotte, for sure.
My dreams made me become the first ever woman to main event a pay-per-view in this very building.
Very well done on not mentioning the name of the pay-per-view. Impressive.
You see, my dreams started when I was
Rhea does now, for sure.
And when I was 13, I dropped out of school to take care of my brother. I love you, Joshua. And then those dreams, at 18 years old and only 90 pounds, took me to North Andover, Massachusetts, to a place called Chaotic Wrestling, where I began my dream.
That training school's buzzing about that.
Greatest women's wrestler of all time.
Do you think Mercedes is getting Cultaholic level money? She more than deserves it. Plus a few quid more, maybe.
You can do it too.
I hope she's got super chats on.
So let's get down to business.
Oh, okay. What's she going for? Getting down to business. Eddie wouldn't pick up his ball and walk home. Oh, TG, behave.
Because I need to be here. You see, I've been watching week upon
She's talking about a revolution within AEW.
Ooh, I can't wait to tear it up with every single one of you. But let's start with our main event tonight. Riho versus Willow Nightingale.
Okay, Riho versus Willow. Main event tonight. Sorry, Wardlow.
Willow.
That's unexpected.
You and I have a lot of unfinished business.
Coming after Willow.
But right now, at Big Business, Mercedes Moné is all elite.
There you go. That's your lot. Little tease, her first feud, maybe with Willow. But there's the graphic. Mercedes Moné is all elite. Beautiful framing. Great shot. I'm so buzzing about this.
So to our chairman, Tony Khan, thank you so much for that tweet. To all of the AEW fans out there and watching at home, please say hello to your new CEO.
There you go. She looks ready to compete. Goodness me, what an outfit. She is looking wonderful. That cost a few quid, didn't it? Just great to see her back. Great to see her back looking happy and healthy. And I hope her words are true and that she does properly spark a bit of a revolution within the women's division in AEW. There are so many matches I want to see. I want to see her versus Chris Statlander. I want to see her versus Britt Baker. Riho. Willow for sure. Tony. Jamie Hayter. Spoiled for choice. The women's roster in AEW is absolutely amazing. It really does sound like Gunther's theme, doesn't it? It really, really does. Just with a few words on top. So, good to see the women main eventing. The women's match main eventing. I wasn't expecting that. It looks like we might, based on the video package here, be getting Joe versus Wardlow up first. As far as matches go. Stream over now. No, I'm cracking on. I've been really excited for tonight. I'm really, really looking forward to it.
Business is certainly picking up here
Maybe not.
in Boston. Mercedes Moné, welcome to AEW. I'm now
Wardlow was never winning, James.
Samoa Joe. Joe, in moments, your world title is on the line.
Okay, no, in moments after the break.
Pretty familiar with. What do you expect tonight?
What do I expect tonight? Well, tonight feels a little different. Feels like money, doesn't it, Renee? Yeah. And Wardlow, what doesn't feel different is you. Once again being sent forth by lesser men to pay for crimes that you did not commit.
I love Joe's talking so much.
See, Wardlow, I have not forgotten what happened the last time we were in the ring together. I have not forgotten.
His delivery is just unreal. You can literally listen to him read a phone book.
Far overdue. Tonight, you learned two things. One, I've taken no quarter, and this was the biggest mistake in your career. And two, Samoa Joe don't lose championships at the Garden.
There you go. Best of luck, Wardlow. Imagine. It's not going to happen. Hello, Stephen. Nice to see you, mate. Good evening, leader. Hope all is well. All grand here. I planned to kick things off with the cat. I had the cat in here, but she doesn't like being in this room. I wanted to show you my beautiful cat. Little shoes. What is this? What is going on here? This is an ad. Is this an ad? This isn't an ad. This doesn't look like an ad. It's not an ad. Oh, it's that nasty little Twitch streamer. And wrestler.
A man, a warrior called Wardlow. This man for years was deceived and lied to. He was locked away and guarded by an evil man.
Oh, I like this.
True devil. And the only way to freedom was to become the unruly warrior he was destined
Do you reckon MJF will be back by Wembley?
many beasts and wasn't
I can't remember the exact timeline. I don't know if there was one. It'd be a shame not to have him there. At least they're properly bigging up the match, like it's a massive deal. I mean, it is a big deal for Wardlow. This is beautifully shot, this. Oh, I love that.
The end.
Where did the name Chugs come from? Why is he Chugs? On Twitch, why is he Chugs? The Chugs. Love the entrance. Joe out first. Is this going to be more of an angle? Surely not. Really thought this would main event. I think we all did. Chugs McMuffin. What does that mean? It's from... no, I know it's from Up, Up, Down, Down, but like, what was the basis for Chugs? Chugs was taken. He's actually Chugs 1. Is that right? Because of the Goonies. I don't think I've ever seen the Goonies. I know Sloth. He's from the Goonies, isn't he? Hey, you guys. That one. That's the Goonies. Chug means wank in Scotland. Does it really? What? I'll go and have a chug. Chug is like... Look. Great impression. Was that alright? Considering I've never properly seen the film. I've seen bits. I stuck it on a few years ago. Because everybody bigs it up. I feel like it's one of those things. If you liked it when you were a kid, big family film, you'll still absolutely love it. Didn't do out for me. He's 4-0 this year. Big beef off. Meat planets. I'm away to have a chug. No, don't. Wardlow shows nips, why don't you? It'd be weird. And I think Wardlow's got a slightly better body than me. Oh, right, here we go. Hot start. Wardlow laying in the blows from the off. Going straight for Joe. No ad break yet, like that. I think it's a Borderlands reference. Another game that I've never played. Robot thing in the desert? I can picture the cover. Wardlow getting all the heat right now. That man's standing up to Wardlow. Borderlands is good fun. Yeah, I need to play it. I've been playing a new game on my Steam Deck. I can't even remember what it's called. It's like the dungeon parts of Stardew Valley. Let's see if anyone can get it from that, because I can't even remember what it's called. You go from dungeon to dungeon. There's 3 levels on each dungeon. Looks like Wardlow's crying. He's got mascara down his face. That's a black eye. That is a black eye. Steam Deck worth it. I really like it, mate. I've been trying to mod some of the games going into Linux, because it runs off Linux. Obviously, it's just a little PC, really, isn't it? It's just a little computer. And I'm trying to mod Stardew Valley. Dungeon Valley? That sounds like it might be right. No. No, that's not it. Moonlight? No, I can't remember what it's called. Joe, you suck! Someone in the crowd. I've given up on Stardew Valley, James. I couldn't get expanded installed. It just won't work, and I know I've done it right. I've got to apparently factory reset the Steam Deck, which I can't be asked to do. And I'll have a go when the expansion comes out. I haven't 100%ed it or anything, but it's just... I've done all the stuff I want to do. I don't want to find a wife in Stardew Valley, get 14 hearts or whatever it is. It's boring. Going round, walking to their house every day to give them a birthday cake. Get the hearts up. Pathetic. I'm no simp. Wardlow trying to... Wearing down. Gets caught! Big back elbow. That's the best part. What a load of bollocks. And I don't fancy any of them either. I quite like that drunk woman. She's alright. Is this for the title? This is for the title, and it's our first match on the card tonight. I think everybody expects it's a main event, which makes me think that maybe with Willow Riho main eventing big business, that we haven't seen the last of Mercedes yet. Dunno, she's already called out Willow.
Wardlow dropping to his knees. Joe may have rocked him with that enziguri. Oh, now the headbutt.
This will be Darby's last match as well. When we see him tonight, Darby's last match. Hopefully not ever, but he's doing a very dangerous thing. Off to walk up a big hill. Super back suplex. Wardlow clings on. Goodness gracious me, look at that. Sensational maneuver by Wardlow. Off the top. Darby gone do Everest for real. Yeah. When he first announced it, I thought he was just talking a big game. But the guy is a nutter. It's a very dangerous thing, isn't it? Like, people die every year doing Everest. I'm sure it'd be grand. I'm not... Wardlow maybe chipped a tooth or something. Blood coming from the mouth, apparently. Can't clock it. Did I see the glass spot of Revolution? I did catch it, oddly enough, Aaron. I didn't see many people talking about it, so I'm not sure where I saw it. Yeah, you know what? I think it's the best pay-per-view that AEW have done in ages. I loved everything. I thought Sting's retirement was just beautifully done. Really, genuinely touching stuff. The glass spot? Crazy. Crazy. I do worry now. You know what? It's kind of nice that there's a collective worry amongst wrestling fans when wrestlers are doing the stuff that Darby Allin does. Some people say, like, oh, he goes too far, he doesn't need to do it. You don't need more wrestlers who can't put their socks on by the time they're 50. But by God, is he entertaining. Scoop slam, taking Joe down. Makes it look like nothing. Powerful man. But that's what makes Darby Darby, isn't it? I do worry as well, but I'm so thoroughly entertained by the stuff that he does. You know what? If he was going to dial it back on the weekly stuff. Because quite often, he'll do stuff on one of the weekly shows that I think, maybe that should have been saved for pay-per-view. But that's his appeal, isn't it? He's a nutter. And it's the big spectacular stunts like that I always found so appealing about wrestling. Like, if you're a similar age to me, growing up, Foley, often through the cell, was everything. Hardy's, Dudley's, Edge and Christian, the bumps there. That was, for me, that was like more appealing than even like Austin, Rock. The main event scene, for me anyway, growing up, was second to the stuff that the tag division was doing. Adam is a sadist confirmed. Maybe. It's weird though, because I'm not a big fan of deathmatch wrestling. It's the big spots. And there's not many better in current day wrestling than Darby at doing that stuff. 17 died on Everest last year. Isn't that nuts? I mean, it's not nuts. It's massive. It's just, you got to admire the guy. The stuff that he's put his body through, right? And rather than just going home, having a bit of a rest, playing Stardew Valley, putting his feet up, he's gone to climb Everest. Joe with the psych, but it didn't work. Wardlow hook in the leg. Just a 2. 2 of those tag members go at it again next week. It's nuts, isn't it? Everybody except Devon's still doing it. I know Bubba hasn't for a while. But Bubba's up for one more. I think Devon said in an interview that he'd be up for one more. Obviously, it's going to be a very different match to what we used to get. I think about that Dudley's return in... I talk about it quite a lot. I want to say 2015, when they interrupted the New Day. Titus on commentary, ruining everything. Just a big loudmouth idiot. Transported me back to being like 12, 13 again. Was it 2015? Yeah, on Raw. I think it's one of the most underrated WWE returns of the last 10 years. Because it was so good. Both coming to WWE 2K24. One more match could happen. You never know, eh? Matt, Jeff still going at it. Edge, Christian doing great stuff. You can't expect too much. I don't want to see another TLC match between those three teams. I'll say that much. Because I'd like them all to be alive. Back and forth. Wood sold it so good. Matt, he really did. It was a bucket list thing for him, wasn't it? It's the coolest thing that's ever happened to me in my entire life. And you think about the ground that covers. I'm a man who has gotten a stomach ulcer from hot sauce. Is downed. Horse splooge. Nah, getting chucked through a table by Bully Ray. It doesn't get... That's like... I don't know. It's like being stunned by Austin. Elbowed by Rock. Oh dear. Wardlow selling the knee. I think he might be doing the fakie now. It is. It's the coolest. I consider myself very, very lucky. Rakes the eyes. Ref saw that. The ref literally watching. Come on. He was feigning injury, but the ref still saw it. 1, 2. That got me, that. Just a 2. Wardlow looks knackered. Has he got 2 black eyes? Tombstone from Taker. I'd insist on taking it like Hogan. Head. 1.5 from the mat. Misses the senton. Here comes Joe. Here's the end. I think they might give him a pass-out spot, though, with the clutch. I don't know if he'll tap. Dumps him down. Bit of a powerbomb. I'm liking the fact that Wardlow's getting big reactions. He looks absolutely insane. The bags under his eyes, or the black eyes, whatever it is. The fact that he's busted his mouth open, his teeth are all yellow, like Snitsky. He's watching the Tron. They framed the Tron here. No. He looks psychotic. Here we go. Clutch. But Wardlow... Nah, didn't quite get to the ropes. That was a nice sell, that. He's down. He's passing. He's gone. He's gone. It's over. No tap. Pass out. It's good stuff, eh? Wardlow looked decent in defeat, and back down the card he goes. His time will come. His time will come. He's somebody who has been negatively affected by so many other people. Every time people are talking about Wardlow, something bonkers happens that overshadows all of his big accomplishments and moments. I have a pic of the Brian Kendrick giving me sliced bread. That's cool. That's a cool one. No interference, but here they come. Swerve! Oh, held back by security. Takes them all down. Oh, man, he's so hot, isn't he? Listen to that crowd. I don't know what WWE were thinking letting him go. There was always something about him, and everybody said it as well. Their loss, AEW's gain massively. They've done Swerve proud. Class. Just kicks the security guy off the ramp. Loving it. This is good. We're half an hour in. Was it announced as no commercial breaks for the first bit, or is this just because I'm watching on Triller? Normally they'll make it clear that breaks are happening, but this has been non-stop.
Trios match coming up tonight right here on Dynamite Big Business. It is the Continental Crown Champion, Kingston, Penta, Miedo, and the returning Pac squaring off.
Looking forward to seeing Pac back as well. Here's the Bucks and the Okada. Yeah, normally it's obvious when they're cut into commercial, but it didn't feel like they were there. Maybe it was just during a lull in the match.
Have some respect for the best wrestler alive. What are you, best friends with this man? Show more respect and call him by his full ass name. I've seen the passport. Have you seen the passport? It's printed. The Rainmaker. Kazuchika. Okada. Show more respect.
They're doing amazing work right now. Legit winding people up.
Just 1 second. I'll take that first question. Why did Okada join the Elite? I mean, can't you feel the synergy of the 3 best professional athletes in the world? That is Elite, right?
I think this is the most interesting that the Bucks have been since since AEW started.
It's helped us out when we were at our lowest of lows. And
Incredible character work.
I mean, if we really want to get technical, I could probably give you
They did a pick in the match. Oh, I didn't get that on my screen. Fair.
the Elite. Rainmaker. Penta. Pat. Eddie. I'm coming for you. Anyway, say happy birthday to Matthew. Good point. Oh, sorry. Happy birthday, Matthew. No. Sing it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
They're gold together, aren't they? It's really, really fun stuff. Really fun stuff. Who do you think are the most underrated tag team ever, Adam? I don't think people talk about... Somebody mentioned it earlier, but London and Kendrick? I think London and Kendrick were phenomenal. And they did great stuff and, champions and everything. But I think they were the best thing about the tag division at the time. On top of that, I feel like they get their flowers enough, but the Machine Guns, for sure. There are a lot of really, really excellent TNA tag teams as well. Beer Money I was always a massive fan of. But yeah, Motor City Machine Guns, because they never did anything in WWE, maybe they don't get brought up in the same conversations as, like, Heart Foundation, LOD, Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian. So yeah, I think the Motor City Machine Guns were amazing. The chemistry that those two had together, not just in the ring. Like in the ring, they were great, but I actually think their promos are really underrated as well. Kaz and Daniels, good shout. Rene Dupree and Kenzo Suzuki. It was during a period that I wasn't watching, and I've seen matches, but were they actually good? I don't know if you're taking the piss there, because I haven't actually seen enough of it. Basically missed the whole Ruthless Aggression era, and I've gone back and I've watched an awful lot, but I couldn't name many matches with those. LAX, fantastic. World's Greatest Tag Team, amazing. Do you reckon we'll get sheltered in AEW? A lot of people talking about that. Apparently conversations have been had. I feel, and I'm a massive Shelton fan, I think the guy should have been world champion in WWE. They're getting him past his prime, unfortunately. A guy who is still so technically solid, great in the ring. But I think what made Shelton so special was the crazy stuff that he was doing that nobody else did. He taught you the super kick, the running up the ladder, just loads of massive spots that Shelton did. He's not really in the state to be doing that stuff anymore. I think he'd join AEW and probably wouldn't do that much, unfortunately. If they do take him. We'll see. But then again, I want to see him on TV, on a show that I regularly watch. So I would like to see him there. As long as they keep the ain't no stopping me, no, at the beginning. They can change the rest of the theme. It's all about that opening sting, isn't it? Adam, what about the tag team Mike and Tracy? Tracy Smothers and Mike Sanders, I assume you're talking about there. Great team. Love this stuff. Vaudevillains. See, I like the Vaudevillains. I think it's a fun gimmick that was never going to work on the main roster. I thought they were a good laugh. Oh, here we go. Here comes your match of the night. Those tunnels look great, don't they? I love the new set. Love the new set. Carlito and Primo were pretty good. They were all right. Tag team wrestling wasn't really getting pushed at the time. Again, what was it? It was they came in a bit of a rough time. Yeah, they were fun enough. I can't think of a real standout performance. All of their matches were just like good. They were really good matches. But there was nothing that sort of Oh! He fell over. Matt almost stacking it there. Enzo and Cass were far better than they deserved. They just had, you know what? Enzo and Cass just had the chemistry and the formula down to a T. Literally every single match. Little guy gets beaten up, hot tag, Cass comes in, cleans house, but it worked. It worked. You don't mess around with what works, and they nailed that every time. People because Enzo was and maybe is such a bellend. People don't like to talk about how popular Enzo and Cass were, but man, they were hot. I was there for that bloody Revival versus Enzo and Cass match at NXT TakeOver London. Pop of the night when they came out. They were so pissing over. Here comes the Rainmaker. Big old pop. Braun and Nicholas were severely underrated. Yes, they had an amazing reign. An amazing reign. Like, I remember the match. Who picked up the titles after they were vacated? Who got them straight after? He's getting on a bit. Nicholas, he's got to be like 15, 16. Is he training? I saw a picture of him posted to X the other day. Was it New Day? Was it straight back to the New Day? Sheamus and Cesaro underrated. Nah, people know they were good. People know they were amazing. And I remember being like, oh man, a best of 7. Where's this going to go? And it was at a time where Sheamus was like, he wasn't especially popular. His matches perhaps a little bit paint by numbers. Didn't feel like his heart was in it. A guy that people resented because he'd been perhaps pushed too soon within WWE. Became world champ very, very quickly. It reinvigorated him, didn't it? That stuff with Cesaro, the Bar were a brilliant tag team. Headbangers were pretty gash, let's be honest. But good gimmick. You didn't need to be amazing, did you? They brought him back, didn't they? 2016, was it? Crime Time's a weird one. Crime Time is a weird one because, like, again, really over. Perhaps didn't need the tag team titles, but not champions. And it's weird to think that because they were there for quite a while as well. I think the breakup, doomed from the start. They had a couple of matches, didn't they? I feel like on an episode of Superstars or something, JTG got a win over him eventually, and they were going to try and push JTG as a babyface. Rest in peace, Shad Gaspard as well. Of course, of course. Legit hero. Here we go. The only time I would say bastard instead of bastard. Because bastard doesn't sound right. So good to see him back. It was interesting watching his video package that played during Revolution, because that's all just, once again, spots around Newcastle. I think I told you once, I saw him in a Wetherspoons. I'm not even joking. I walked in. It's not the Mile Castle. It's the Five Swans or something like that it's called. It's by Northumbria, or Northumberland Uni, Newcastle. One of where we used to run WCPW shows. He's built. Do any of you know him in real life? We've got a writer, Lewis the Dragon Chambers, who I used to work with him at What Culture, and now he writes for us. Lewis used to wrestle him a lot. He's very close friends with him. I don't know if you've spoken to him recently. We occasionally chat about it. So yeah, he was he trained with him back when the Northeast wrestling scene, or well, the British wrestling scene in general, was not what it is today. It's taken a dip after NXT UK, obviously, but it was in a way worse state when they were wrestling. This is like 2008 to maybe 2011, and then he went over to the Dragon Gate dojo. Hi Adam, I saw you in Tesco the other day and you kept saying, "Do you know who I am?" while stealing a can of Foster's. Who is your favourite commentator? That is true. That is true. But also, I had a 2-litre bottle of Tesco Value lemonade under my shirt just to make it go further. I like a shandy. Who's my favourite commentator? Heenan, ever. I think Shivani's class. JR. But no, Heenan. Heenan and Monsoon is my favourite commentary team. Over King and JR. Adam, thoughts on EVP Bucks? Personally, my favourite version of their characters. Elf, I was just saying, mate. I think they're killing it. And you know what? They're winding up the right people. They got legit heat at the moment, but the characters are really interesting. I think they're very, very funny. It's been a great transformation for them. I think it's been brilliant. Pac and Matt kicking things off. Really like Taz. I like Taz as well. I don't know if he'd even make my top 5. He is very good. I always like Don West, just for his clear passion for it. Mauro as well, same thing. You can tell when somebody's a real wrestling fan. Cutter. Mauro was really Marmite though, wasn't he? I think he bothered a lot of people. People thought he was like too hyped. I don't know how to describe it. I know a lot of people didn't like his work. I always really liked it. Maybe it was the catchphrases. I always thought Mamma Mia was alright. Pat McAfee is actually really good. I like Pat on the pay-per-views. Not as much on the weeklies. I think you can have too much of him. Maybe that's maybe that was the thing with like Mauro as well. For me, like he's got his bits that he does, but I want to see them sparingly. I do like Pat. But this run, I don't think it's done him any favours. Oof. A leg drop that sort of went weird there. Drove the base of his foot into the bum and or gonads. Okada might be about to come in. Whatever happened to Joey Styles? He transitioned into a role. He was editor-in-chief of WWE.com for a while. I don't think he's been doing that for a bit. I think he's fully out of wrestling now. As far as I know, he might do the odd convention autograph thing. Kingston Okada. This is something that I'm tired of, and I really love Eddie Kingston. I think he's one of the best talkers in the business right now. Does nothing for me. Thankfully, Okada has taken him down early, big drop kick. Big shout out for Bobcore there. It's Hardcore Holly's drop kick. One of the best drop kicks in the biz, Hardcore Holly. He went fully horizontal. Okada learning from the best. So right with those chops. I'm glad I'm not the only one. But they wind me up because toward the end, I know he's like, oh, he's exhausted, so he can't lay him fully in. But he's going like that. So that doesn't hurt. I just don't want it's another thing that I don't want to see too often, and he tends to do it a bit too much for my liking. Minor criticism, not the biggest deal or anything. Joey Styles was like proto-Matt Striker. Styles was 10 times better than Striker. You want to talk about commentators that wind me up? Forget Mauro. Striker. I worked with him. I think he's good because he really knows his stuff, Striker. And people only tend to talk about the, I'm marking out, bro, and all that sort of stuff. It's like, oh, okay, you're trying to appeal to the hardcores, whatever. It's not that, he's just a proper hit and miss for me. Todd Grisham. Bland as white bread. Couldn't give a toss about Todd Grisham. He was just there. He was just there. He was like he was Kevin Kelly back in the day. The most interesting Kevin Kelly was during his Attitude Era WWF run was when The Rock was making fun of him. He was just... Pettingill. I always liked Pettingill. Pettingill's a good one. Not a commentator so much as a backstage guy, but I always really liked Pettingill. Kicking down Eddie Kingston. This match hasn't really picked up yet. I still think the last 3 to 5 minutes are going to be pretty damn impressive. Slander against Kevin Kelly. I'm talking about Kevin Kelly back in the day. A lot of people turned on Kevin Kelly in recent times because of his work in AEW and they didn't think much of it. I didn't have a problem with it personally. I thought it was alright. It was serviceable. It wasn't spectacular. I think Excalibur's the guy in AEW. I love hearing Excalibur on commentary. I think he's underrated. And I think he's very, very good at reining in the people, like especially when JR's been with him in the past. I think he's very good at like filling Jim Ross in. Jim Ross isn't on form. I didn't hear one Kevin Kelly AEW call. Yeah, he could have said more. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. But when he was talking, I thought he was alright. I'm not saying it was spectacular or anything. I thought he was decent. It's fine. They've got serious heat, haven't they, the Bucks? How are we 48 minutes in? It's weird that I stream British telly for longer than I'm going to be streaming tonight. Something's not right about that. William Regal's romance with Excalibur was a special time. It was, wasn't it? Regal's great in that role. Proper funny. No Red Dead after, Jack. I'm doing it Sunday. I'll let you know a time on my Instagram. Adam Pacitti, by the way. That's where I post stuff now. Forgot to do it tonight, obviously. Eddie looking for the hot tag. Trying to bring in Penta. Pac wants some too. Tom Campbell of Vader Scott and North was good. Yeah, Tom's a fantastic commentator, rather. Oh! Baby faces taken off the apron. Oh dear. Properly isolating Eddie. Who should be paired with Big E to commentate the Meaty Men Invitational? I think, again, he's somebody that might need reining in. Nah, just as a one-off. Just let him go bonkers. You know what? I just have all. I'm not a fan of the 3-man commentary booth, but it's different when it's the New Day. Just have the New Day do it because you know the chemistry's there. Kingston with a face full of knob right now. Come back overhead belly to belly. Gets it. But there's nobody there to tag. Yes, there is. Penta's back up. Penta in there. Business is about to pick up. Crossbody. Sling blade. Sling Blade. Here comes Okada. Oh, what are they going for here? What is this? What is this? Double DDT. Assisted by Okada accidentally. Tom is an amazing talent. Oh, man, he's incredible at what he does. Pac up top. Drop kick. I said in a video recently, I think it might have been on stream or something, I can't remember when it was, but I said that it looked like Pac had trimmed up a bit, and it's not as much as I thought. Oh, look at that, he's still a unit, isn't he? He's just all muscle. He's like 1% body fat, if that. Most play-by-play we've ever got from Adam. Is it? I mean, I can talk about Red Dwarf and British nonsense if you want, but I'm quite enjoying this. Double foot stomp. Bloody hell. Okada breaks things up. Big E and Booker T would be the best. For pure insanity, bonkers nonsensical. It's weird, right? Because Big E would have to rein Booker in. Really, it should be the other way round, because Booker is the more experienced commentator. But Booker is mentally damaged. German. Not Booker T. Booker T, to the best of my knowledge, is not German. There was a German suplex there. He wasn't that ripped in NXT, right? No, he picked up toward the King of the Cruiserweight stuff. He was getting more and more hench. But it is a relatively recent thing. Certainly when he first came in, when he was Adrian Neville down in NXT, he did not look like that. He got bigger and bigger as the character change happened. Just the stuff that he's able to do. 7-8 years ago, I'd have put him in the right company as a dead cert world champion. I'm not sure we get that anymore, which is a shame. I think he might go down, and a lot of it is just because of health stuff, but I think he might go down as one of wrestling's what-ifs, Pac. Because his character work was so good as well. Hangs him up to dry. Looking for Okada. But all of the elite in there right now. I don't think he's getting this. Super kick. Reverses. Back elbow. Oh my god. A big stiff kick to the non-stiff you-know-what. That's your lot. Decent match that, wasn't it? That properly picked up. That was great. That was a proper low blow, that. You hear the clap? Rainmaker. Picking up the win for the Elite. Good stuff. Good match. And we are already halfway through Big Business. We have seen 2 matches. 2 matches that I thought would be going on way later in the card. It's been turned upside down, this card. It's peaked in hour 1, perhaps. It makes me think they've got something planned for Riho Willow later in the night. AEW is indeed on until 2 AM. So still to come, you got Darby versus Jay White, you got the Jericho tag, and you got the, now we know, his main event. Oh, and Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay's got a promo as well. Everybody's saying that Ospreay's going to win the world title in Wembley. I don't think he does it this year. I think they're coming back every year. I don't think the timing's right for Ospreay to do that. I'll probably be proven wrong there. I reckon he will. I think he will win it at Wembley. I just don't think it's going to be this year. How will Jay White go over? Because Darby's about to disappear, I just think you give Jay a big dominant win. I know, like, Darby's just coming off all the glory and success with Sting and with, like, main event, amazing stuff. And it really, really was good. But he's also about to disappear for several months. So just put Jay over strong. Another guy already up and down. Saraya won last time just because he's winning, bruv. No, I think he will win. I just don't think it's going to be this year. I think everybody's expecting it this year. It's too much. It's too much for me. He probably will. He probably will. I'm saying that. Darby is the best guy in this company to make somebody look strong. Yeah, he just bumps like a nutter. He'll just do something silly before he climbs however many vertical miles Everest is. I have no idea. Hi, Joe Matthews. Nice to see you. Don't tell me like CM Punk. What does that mean, Mr. Marcos? Will Ospreay will have a Cody Rhodes-esque story. What, they hold it back? I just think people will be expecting it. There's part of me that thinks, it depends who's around at the time. Anything can change in the next few months, can't it? Hangman will be back. You've got Swerve there. Is Joe still going to be champion? Will MJF be back? I don't think MJF's going to be back, but I don't know. Does he get the title shot and not do it and then do it again? Maybe that's what you mean by the Cody-esque story. Maybe that's what you mean. Fails the first time, does it the second time. Cole? Cole won't be good to go, will he? Cole's out for a fair bit longer. We're about to resume with big business. Anyway, while this graphic is on screen, and I'm Joey Stylesing it, tell me about your day! Tell me all about your day, what you been up to. Isn't Jericho a piss break match? Very often. I think so, yeah. It depends how motivated he is. You know it's going to be solid, just unremarkable. Are you going to be at WrestleMania 40? No, unfortunately not. I don't. We don't have people going out for WrestleMania 40. I don't tend to do the trips at all anymore. Anyway, I don't know. The last trip I did was down to London to play the new 2K game, but I don't tend to. I haven't been to a pay-per-view in. Bloody hell! I can't even remember the last one. I mean, I don't go to that many anyway. I go to the house shows in Newcastle if somebody fancies. From the PR team sends us tickets or whatever if we can get stuff there. But no, I don't tend to do them anymore. There's a fly in your room. Is there? I don't think there is. I think you're winding me up. Well, I worked, then I modded the Football Manager stream, which was fun, and then I had my tea and watched telly, and now I'm here. What a productive evening, James. Thank you for doing so. How's Shoes? She's grand. I was trying to show her off, and she ran off. She doesn't like being in this room. This is my little office, and there's nothing much for cats in here. She doesn't like it. She'd rather be laid on my bed. What's her name? Her name's Shoes. Her name's Shoes. She's lovely. She's only got half an ear. She's got 0.5 ears. She had to have them taken off because they thought she had cancer. So they chopped them off and then she was put up for adoption. She got taken in. Somebody adopted her, but because ears are seemingly so important in cat identification, cats identifying one another, cats didn't recognise her as a cat. The other cats just weren't especially pleasant to her. So she's grand. Why Shoes? I don't know. I thought it was a great name for a cat. I renamed my last cat, Mr. Happy, who passed away last year. He was originally called Mowgli, and I wasn't keen on Mowgli. I like the Jungle Book and everything, but again, it doesn't make sense because Mowgli is the little boy in Jungle Book, not the black cat who is Bagheera. And he was miserable. That's why I called him Mr. Happy. He looked absolutely miserable. Here comes Big Willie Ospreay. It's going to be a barn burner. I think that's genuinely got the potential to be Danielson's best match since he came to AEW. And you think about the ground that covers. Elevator. You want to talk about nutters? Another man tremendously over. He's there for the next 5 odd years, isn't he? He's going to do great stuff. Cheers, CT. Much appreciated. Yeah, happy passed away end of last year. Jack. But what's he going to say? He's kicking off hour 2. Listen to that. Cats can't taste sweet. There's a cat fact I was unaware. She likes yogurt. Shoes does. Strawberry yogurt. She's big on that. That's sweet. Cat facts and wrestling. You get it all here. That bruv thing's so over, isn't it? Who's the ultimate cat in wrestling? Stacey Carter. Probably Ernest Miller, isn't it?
My entire career, all I've wanted to do is emulate the career of Bryan Danielson. Whether it was his stuff that he done in Japan, or his enthusiasm for the independents, whether it was 50 people, 500 people, 5,000 people, Bryan Danielson left it in the ring every single night for all of these beautiful people.
I really like Ospreay's promos. I think it's because they come across as so sincere. And like when he's talking about passion, you know it's legit because he's a guy who went all over the shop, performing in front of very small crowds. When, let's be honest, he was above that. He could have been just doing massive shows all the time. But he went all over the world. It wasn't just in the UK. I know he was out in New Zealand for a time, all over shop. It's going to be a hell of a match, isn't it? April 21st, Dynasty. What do you guys think of the additions to AEW's pay-per-view calendar? I know Dynasty is the first proper one, but there's believed to be another couple coming this year. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, I don't want to see them do 12 a year. But I think if they do 7 a year, it allows them to retain the special feeling of an AEW pay-per-view. Great promo. Every time I think the promo's finished, which is basically every time he says bruv, it continues. Really, really good promo. I like it, my wallet won't. They are pricey. I don't know what they are in the US. They're not actually too bad here in the UK. I think they're 20 quid a pop. There you go. Really good promo. I used to be able to afford AEW pay-per-views when they once a quarter. Now I can't afford them anymore because there are too many. It'll be interesting to see, won't it, I guess? Like, how many people will stop buying all of the AEW pay-per-views because they feel like they can't catch up because there's an increase in the number of pay-per-views? I don't know. I mean, financially, it's probably going to make sense for them. I think they would have done that research. They have the data there. I'm sure overall it's a financial gain. Hello, Justin. If I write a top 10 Ospreay matches list, will you narrate it with your best possible Ospreay impression? I don't think I'd do you very proud, Justin. This is the man that pronounced Eugene, Oregon as Eugene Origin. Still blame the editors. Alright, it's me, Will Ospreay. If I write a top 10 Ospreay matches list, bruv, will you narrate it with your best possible... Why have I given him a speech impediment? I'll do my best, Justin. I don't know if I can do it for 10 minutes. Lovely to see you, by the way, Justin. I hope you're doing well, mate. He's going to beat you up. Yeah, he knows where we are. He's been in the office before. You got me in deep doo-doo there, mate. Alright, it's me, Will Ospreay. Talk to me. He's just Terry Tibbs. He's just Terry Tibbs. I don't know why I gave him that. That wasn't intentional, Vince. I'm not good at impressions. I'm not good at accents. Jack's your man for that. Jack is a great impressionist. Jack's a great impressionist, bruv. No, Justin, I won't. Just do Tavish with bruv. Alright, it's me. It's the same thing. Hello, it's me, Tavish. I don't know what I'm doing. Tavish his accent isn't a real thing, is it? What did I describe it as the other day? Cockney pirate. He's a Cockney pirate. It's not. It's like Chaz, Dave, and Captain Jack Sparrow mixed together is Tavish. It's not a real thing, and it changes. He'll do one line, and then the next line's completely different. You sound pissed up doing that voice, mate. I wish I was. Anyway, Jay White versus Darby Allin up next. You picked me right up there, Justin. I enjoyed doing that. It's a late night. And here we go. The last match of Darby Allin before he goes and climbs his hill. Oh, let's get any excuse for a Revolution repeat. Bonkers. Absolutely ridiculous. What was it he needed? Was it 9 stitches or 12 stitches? It was way fewer than you would think. I think it was more to do with the fact that he had lots and lots and lots of little cuts rather than one big gash. They were. What a moment that was. Come on, Jay has to win this. You'd think so, wouldn't you? I mean, that selfish man Sting wasn't willing to go out on his back, so Darby absolutely should before he disappears for a month and a bit. Ever been to Essex? I don't think I have. I think I've been through it, and I don't know why. I can picture a big sign. Where's that? Basildon. Does Basildon have like a tiny Hollywood-esque sign somewhere in the town centre? I can picture that for some reason. Adam, why don't you meet Darby on Everest? I'm busy that week, month, however long it takes. Go into London. It's the wrong way for London, whichever way I'm coming at it, because I was in the southeast. Well, Isle of Wight. It's technically southeast, it's basically in the middle, but I'll go up in there. I don't know where it would have been. Intent Chief, thank you very, very much. It would make way more sense for Darby to take a break after Sting's last match and do the climb as a storyline thing rather than just a random Jay White match. But if Jay picks up a big, dominant win here, it doesn't need to be dominant, but if he picks up a win here, it helps Jay out. Maybe you're right, yeah, after the glass spot and everything, maybe you're right. I guess he was just free and they wanted... Oh, there you go. He's selling the back like mad though, isn't he? I don't know if you can even call that selling. He'll still do something bonkers here, won't he? Flat back bump on the outside from the top rope or something daft. Wasn't Essex the town in Hot Fuzz? No! Essex is bigger than that. I don't know where that was meant to be. Was it just a fictional place? They had, like, Dawson Devon accents, did they? Was it down that way? I can't even remember the name. I'm thinking Criffin Gifford, but that's from Woman in Black, isn't it? Sanford! Sanford, that's it. Sanford and Sons. I'm assuming that's a fictional place. Jay White working the back right now, doing my play-by-play. Somersetty, shot in the Wells, where Edgar Wright is, right? Is that right? I rewatched the other day World's End because I want to like it, and there are bits in there that I really like, but it's taken repeated viewings of it to really get me on board. But it's still no Hot Fuzz, and it's still no Shaun of the Dead. It's just all right. It's an all right film. As a standalone, I think it'd be a bit more celebrated, but as part of the final part of the Cornetto trilogy, maybe not. The greater good. It's an okay film, worst of the three, but it's still an enjoyable watch. Yeah, it's alright, isn't it? It's alright. See? Sent on to the outside. Jay caught most of them, it's all good. Shaun of the Dead's the best one. Disagree, I think. I think I prefer Hot Fuzz. I think Hot Fuzz is better for rewatching. I can watch Hot Fuzz again and again and still be super into it. But they're both excellent. They're both, and so different as well. It's only really the sort of, I guess, the sense of humour that remains throughout them, because obviously the plots are just wildly different. A great big bushy beard! I want to watch that now. They put too much good stuff on the first hour of Dynamite Big Business. I'm off to watch Hot Fuzz. No, I'm not. What do you think of Paul? Was that the Alien one? I never watched it. I thought Run Fat Boy Run was alright. It's just a fairly pleasant family film with a few good lines. It's alright. Darby driving the back of Jay White. Oh my word. Snap suplex into... Jesus Christ. How's he going to climb? How's he going to climb? How much climbing is there to do, right? That's a stupid question, because I know you climb Everest. I'm assuming you can't just walk around in a big circle. Like you're going up an upside-down ice cream cone. I imagine there's proper scaling to be done. It's bonkers, isn't it? He's a nutter. Trying to think of other Simon Pegg films. I thought Spaced was alright. Darby. Climbing Everest takes a day. You have to stop multiple times to acclimate to the height. Is that true? I thought you had to camp out. I thought you had to take a tent up with you. Surely it takes longer than a day. This shows you how ignorant I am. I'm not well versed with mountain climbing. Surely it's like a week or something. He's going to do what everybody else does and just go up to the first base camp, then back down. I don't know. He is insane. Simon Pegg did Star Trek. He did. He did do Star Trek. I'm not a big Star Trek fan. I've only seen a few bits. Can't even do the fingers. Oh, almost. Darby doesn't know how to say no. No, nobody's telling him no. Nobody's telling him no. He just does it because he's not all there, but in a good way. He's a spectacle, isn't he? But a weekly spectacle, and that's why it's scary. Just popped in as Sasha showing up. She kicked off the show with a promo, but we've got a Willow Riho main event. That's the main event, and not a lot of us were expecting that. So we might not have seen the end of her yet because she's got unfinished business with Willow Nightingale. Whatever happened to Nick Frost and Simon? I don't know, mate. I'm not friends with them, unfortunately. I read that Nick Frost is a bit of an arsehole. I don't know how true that is. He's a lovable big guy. And we've been burned by James Corden, haven't we? You can't trust a lovable big guy. Corden, massive wanker. But I read a load of Reddit threads where they said Nick Frost wasn't that nice. But I've read ones where you catch people on a bad day. Don't read into that. He did good in Fighting With My Family. I thought that was a really boring film, that. It did absolutely nothing for me, Fighting With My Family. I think it's one of the worst, if not the worst, wrestling biopics. I know there's not that many of them. I've not seen the Von Erichs thing yet. No, I thought Fighting With My Family was gash. Just dull. Jay White laying in the chops to Darby, putting him up top. Darby about to take another ridiculous spill, one would assume. Difference is Corden was never lovable. Not true. Absolutely not true. Gavin and Stacey. He was incredibly lovable in that. He plays a very good lovable big man. He is the Otis of mediocre British comedies and late night talk shows in the States. But Otis is a very, very nice man outside the ring, as far as I know. He was in Cats. Was he? Oh, yeah, sorry, the musical. I thought you meant he was interfering with... Thank you, Mr. Nopick. Lovely to see you, mate. Evening leader from the biggest Cultaholic fans of the galaxy. Do you think tonight's been living up to the hype so far? All the best and much love. Apart from Mercedes, and I know we saw a big title match, but it wasn't all that, the world title match. It was decent. It was good. It feels like a fairly regular episode of Dynamite, doesn't it? But I thought Mercedes' debut was really good. I enjoyed the six-man tag. This has been decent so far. Exactly what was expected, but doesn't mean it's bad. I think it's been a good episode of Dynamite. I'm glad that I've stayed up for it. I'm hoping Jay rips away all of the bandages. Lovely to see you, by the way, John. I hope you're well, mate. Up top. Caught him. Whoa, went for the Blade Runner. Didn't get it. Darby. He's just so nippy, isn't he, Darby? Blade Runner again. Reversed again. Stunner. Surely not. Winning with a sunset flip there. Tenacious D absolutely slaps. Who was in that? Was Simon Pegg in that? Another two. Another two. This has been really good, this. Bit of a late kick out, perhaps. Are there, other than Graham Norton, are there any late night talk shows in the UK? I don't know. Jonathan Ross used to do one. I don't know if he still is. He left BBC, didn't he? Yeah, there's got to be. It's not a thing like it is in the US. Obviously, US, you've got like Fallon, Kimmel, bunch of them, haven't you? Is it John Oliver does them? There you go. You can see the cuts peeking out there. But it's not so much a sort of British culture thing. That said, like Graham Norton and Jonathan Ross were both big parts of my sort of British TV upbringing. Norton used to be a naughtier man than he is now. He did a show called So Graham Norton, late 90s, perhaps to the early noughties, in the UK, and it was naughty. It would be a disappointment if you didn't see a big floppy dildo at least once per episode. It was filth. I can't remember. Was it on directly before Eurotrash or something? It was a very good lead-in. Two. The Graham Norton, yeah. Oh, Paul O'Grady. It's not late night, but Paul O'Grady sadly passed away. Was it last year? Might have been a few years now. No, last year. Was it last year? Anyway, Paul O'Grady was amazing. A very, very likeable man who really brought the best out of his guests. He was awesome. And by all accounts, a lovely, lovely fella. Doing the Scousers proud after the miserable bastard that was Cilla Black. Drops him down. Yeah, Parky was another thing. Big dog, calm down. Oh, screw. I can't. I used to really like Alan Carr. And actually, I think he's a good talk show host. Everything else I see him on, he just pisses me off. Let's not have a screeching competition. Or are you talking about the wrestling? Is there screeching going on? What's he doing? What's he doing? Darby, he's going to wriggle out. He's going to move. You're going to land. Oh. Everest, Darby. Everest. Coffin drop. Caught a bit of his head. Caught a lot of the apron. Goodness gracious me. Holy S indeed. Is Frankie Boyle a controversial name? I think people more associate him with his very, very edgy comedy stuff. He's toned it right down. Right down. I wasn't a massive fan of that stuff. I'm not in any way easily offended at all. It's just not for me. That style of comedy doesn't really do it for me. He was very good at that style of comedy, but he's toned it down massively. Oh, here we go. There's the runner. 2, 3, there you go. Right result. Jay White picking up the win following a brutal, one of 3 brutal Darby bumps? Darby bumps. Great match. I think I enjoyed that more than the 6-man, actually. I thought the 6-man was a dead cert for match of the night, but I thought that was excellent. Right result. Best of luck, Darby, eh? That's right, Joe Matthews, my Tuesday streams. Classic talk show. And we've only got 35 odd minutes to go now, with a bit of overrun, perhaps. Who's on the podcast this week? As far, yeah, normal lineup. Matthew is back from Dub X Dub. I'm sure you'll hear all about it on the podcast. That's recording tomorrow. Yeah, regular lineup tomorrow. Here we go. They're going to give him a little beat down to send him packing. Oh dear. There you go. Right way to go. No Sting to save him. Famous last words. What do you reckon Sting does? Because he's sticking around in AEW, and he said he doesn't just want to be an agent producer. Is he a manager who takes the occasional bump? Baseball bat? We might be about to see Sting. Or one of his sons. Just hang out in the rafters. Quite like that. He's sort of like, what do you do with him? He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to be an agent producer. That's the obvious role for him. What do you want to do, Sting? Social media? The Acclaimed. Biggest pop they've gotten in a while. Weird behaviour by Max Caster this week. Not sure what to make of it. They're turning. Are they? No. They're turning. They're turning. Are they turning? It's a bit slow, this, isn't it? I mean, people are turning on them. Nah. This is going somewhere, isn't it? This feels a bit weird. Kids about to attack their old man. Got his hand up. Shot to the noggin. Max Caster. Big old beat down. That's your lot. No, it's not your lot. Darby is going to take some more punishment. Somebody make the save here, for Darby's sake. Going to Pillmanize him. Nobody there to make the save. No Sting. Thanks for coming. Brutal. Still got 2 matches to go. One would assume that Hook and Chris Jericho versus the Gates of Agony isn't going to be lasting too long. Because we've still got the main event. Curious main event. And we still got an ad break or two to squeeze in. Somewhere. Piss break match time. It's not one that I'm too hyped to see. Just... There's not that much to it, is there? Just gave my nan the 3 Pacitos. She's paralysed. Send her my best. Get well soon. She's climbing Everest tomorrow, mate. What are you doing? EG, thank you very much for the super chat, mate. Appreciate it. Jericho turns heel on Hook, maybe. I just don't care. I just don't... Whatever happens, I just don't care. I don't care. The master of reinvention needs to reinvent himself again. I get it. I get why he's on telly as much as possible. Just does nothing for me. JW Pringle, thank you so much, mate. Sending some love to show my appreciation. You and everyone at Cultaholic have made the good and bad of wrestling that much better. Thank you very much. That's really kind. Thank you. JW Pringle, mate. Lovely to see you as always. Appreciate it. If this built to Hook versus Swerve, I'd be happy. Yeah. Just... I don't know what it is about Jericho for the past, I want to say 6 months, but it might be a bit longer than that. Just nothing that he's doing with me is like really connecting. It's just I'm not that fussed. I'll tell you what, I've really enjoyed. I'm being all negative here, but I think this has been a great episode of Dynamite, and I've really enjoyed doing some AEW reactions. I think I haven't done AEW reactions in a long time, a long time. In fact, it's been a while. Obviously, Tom and Fraser generally doing those. But I've had a good time tonight. I've had a good time. Cheers for popping in, by the way. Appreciate it. Got 800 odd people watching right now. I wasn't sure how many would be in tonight. I didn't know what it'd be like, and this was a fairly last minute thing as well. So cheers for being here. Appreciate it. It's very calm. It is. It's quite a laid back, chilled stream, this one. I feel like I'm talking about wrestling more than I normally would, which is a good thing and a testament to the quality of the programming, of course. So yeah, appreciate it, especially if you're staying up. If you're in the UK or somewhere where it's stupid o'clock in the morning like it is here, thank you very much. Happy to be here. Clean shirt. What are you calling clean shirt? This shirt is anything but. I've worn this about 3 times already, mate. And do give us a like, Spike. I forgot about that. That's the most important thing, isn't it? It's not about the wrestling. It's about pleasing an algorithm that nobody understands. So help us, Cultaholic, out by pleasing the algorithm by hitting a small button of a thumbs up. Much appreciated. It does massively help. Feel free to do it on every video that you see. Here we go. Tag match time. Here comes Lionheart. Chris Jericho. He just doesn't really get, even with a live crowd, he doesn't get much of a reaction, babyface or heel. I mean, people were still singing along with the... People were still singing along with the song and everything. Not tonight, but... He is just there now. But there's... Say what you will about Chris Jericho, and there's plenty to say. He's very good at being aware of when he's stagnating and doing something to fix it. I think maybe to more varying levels of success than we've seen previously in recent years. But he is still good at that. He's going to be covered in tattoos in 2 years, isn't he? Every time I see him, there's a few more. I think I agree, Dante. Take a leave of absence. Absence makes the heart grow fonder and all that. Every time you think it might happen, obviously he was on tour with Fozzy. He was over, I don't know if it was a UK tour, European tour. I don't know if he, I don't know where he was, but I know he was in the UK. I don't know if it stretched out further in Europe. Every time you think, oh, he'll be gone then. He'll be gone for a bit, right? A few months off will do him good. I'm not saying they were going to tour for that long, but maybe they would do the sensible thing and just keep him off telly for a bit. He's just back as soon as possible. But again, he's one of the biggest names they've got, who appeals to fans of many, many different eras, and I imagine the network loves him. Been thinking of my first tattoo. What are you going to get? Rally cap and standing. Rally cap and standing? He's not changing gimmicks, just catchphrase. Someone on the pod or going in Raw said it. They're 100% correct. Well, we've seen him change gimmicks before. You're right about him introducing new catchphrases and not really introducing new gimmicks. I mean, he's coming out as Lionheart at the moment, keep in mind. I think it's a fair point. I think it's a fair point with recent Jericho. You got a turnbuckle tattoo. Have you really? Whereabouts? Polynesian style, like the Usos. That's cool. Quite a lot of black work on that, right? That's going to be sore. Where are you getting it done? Turnbuckle tattoo isn't that bad. I've never seen a turnbuckle tattoo. It sounds cool. On your arm, like stretching around with the ropes coming off, or just the turnbuckle, the pad, the cover? And keep in mind as well, they're paying a pretty penny for Chris Jericho to be there, so you can sort of understand why they want to use him. I don't think this one's going to go too long. We've got 25 odd minutes left. They might get 8 minutes, if we're lucky, if we're very lucky. Just a turnbuckle with the hook. That's cool. That's really cool. You getting any more tattoos, Adam? I might do. I've got nothing, I haven't had anything done in like 2-3 years, maybe 2 years. I had like a succulent thing done on my leg. And I did exactly what you're not meant to do, and that tattooists obviously hate. I went in horrendously hungover. And my blood was very thin. I bled an awful lot, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience. It hasn't put me off or anything, but it wasn't a great 2-hour session. A succulent Chinese meal? This is Democracy Manifest. No, just a succulent, the plant. Like, it looks like an aloe vera, which I think might be a type of succulent, but I'm no expert. I don't know what I get. None of mine mean anything. I just like the way they look. And there's a sick part of me that enjoys getting them done a little bit. Feels like an achievement. Oh, goodness me, Jericho. Send to the outside. I see you know your judo well. I think that's in my top 5 viral videos ever. It's just so bloody funny. They found him, didn't they? They did an interview with him. He's slimmed down, but he's still got the very recognisable voice. I don't think you'd recognise him, rather, if you saw him on the street. But it's so funny. Apparently he used to do it all the time. He used to dine and dash in loads and loads of places. Do you have the Lego succulents since you're such a big fan? I don't. I haven't got any Lego. My cousin gave me some Lego for Christmas. But I've run out of room for Lego. I got a load of fake stuff off the Hgate or AliExpress or one of those things. Because all the ones that I wanted were just way too expensive. I can't spend 200 quid on Lego. I haven't got the money for that. So yeah, I was getting the fake one. The fake ones are picture perfect, basically. Picture in picture time. Restaurant quality. When they started, I know it's been a while and they've not been doing it for ages, but they used to properly cut the commentary, didn't they? You just had to watch it. Yeah, Toa's great. Toa's really great, Riga. I'm just hoping this match, because I'm not fussed about the match. I think the result is a foregone conclusion. I'm just hoping it leads to a bit of an angle, just something a little bit interesting. You into toes? What? No, I don't. I'm not. No. Jericho with a forearm from the top. Mate. Toa. Not toes. Not toes. I'm indifferent. Feet are feet, right? I'm not disgusted. I'm not repulsed by them in the way that other people are. They are just feet. They're just there for walking and that, aren't they? Not for sucking. But do what you want. It's your life. What's the time? 1:38. 1:38 in the morning. I've had a lot of late nights lately. I remember you saying on the podcast saying you'd done a Findom thing in college. Yeah, before that was maybe even a thing. Yeah, it's a saturated market now, mate. I did it when I was at uni and panicked. Shut it down the day after. Made a fortune. But it got too scary. Yeah, I think everybody and their mum does it now. In some cases, literally. My mum doesn't. My mum doesn't. I don't know, I think with anything like that, it's all about how you market yourself, isn't it? And I don't know the first thing about it in that particular space. Why are we talking about this? Let's move on from feet. Agony sending Jericho to the ropes. Shoves him across the ring. Just a 2. Coming back from commercial soon. It's just the persistent random pairings of Jericho. Some work, some don't. It's never a dull moment with the conversations on this. Oh, I try and keep things varied, right? These are much like wrestling. It's best when everything's a little bit different. Sometimes we'll talk about the wrestling. Sometimes we'll talk about Findom and feet. How have Balor and Mysterio not done Findom? That's a missed opportunity, isn't it? Findom is financial domination. It's typically men who are turned on by giving their money away, being extorted for their money, but through roleplay. We're moving on. Hook looking for the tag. Losing viewers talking about Findom. I blame the match. I blame the match. So give you money to Cultaholic. That's what this is about, really. Every time a super chat comes through, under the desk. That's why you only the framing's always just this. I'm wearing joggers. We get kicked right off. If it were bigger.
take it to the outside. Bishop Khan with Hook on the shoulders. Hook escapes. Good counter. And now Hook
Comes around suplex. Wholesome Cultaholic, as always, mate. As always. Listen, I'm Joey Styles in this, and I'm not invested in the match. You get what you're given. Toa rolls him up, can't get him. Bloody hell. German just about gets him up. Ooh. Almost called it a code breaker there, they did. Jericho on the outside. Looking for the finish. Reversed. Don't just stand there and watch him. What are you doing? Save your mate. Here we go. Hook looking for red rum. Not fully locked. Now it is. No, it's not. Jericho with the Lion Tamer and red rum. It's a nice finish, isn't it? I like that. Takes him out. And there's the tap. There you go. Nah, he didn't outstay his welcome, Jay Grells. He didn't tap while both submissions were locked in. I think it's okay. It was alright, wasn't it? I do like the Lion Tamer Red Rum combo. I think that's a nice little addition. It's almost time for the main event. We got 15 odd minutes left. Advertised for Collision. This week, Kyle O'Reilly versus Brian Keith. That'd be decent. Kyle O'Reilly making his in-ring return. Almost 2 years. Interested to see where the Kyle stuff goes. Speak of the bloody devil.
It's such a huge night for AEW, and honestly, a lot has changed here recently. But what do you think of the new landscape of AEW?
For 2 years, the thought of never wrestling again, the least of my problems. Okay, there was a span where I couldn't.
Where is this going?
Pick up my daughter, and they were the darkest days of my life. But my neck got better, my arm got better, and now that I'm here and I look at the landscape, the AEW roster, and I guess I just wonder if I can still hang. It's probably, what, the most competitive roster in the history of the sport? Yeah. But then I look at the guy
Oh, I like this.
I'm impressed by. A guy I've had my sights set on, so to speak. A guy that I think can bring out that Kyle O'Reilly. So, Bounty Hunter Brian Keith, you and I, we have a duel this Saturday on Collision. My first match back in almost 2 years. My home country, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Kyle! What's up, dude? Hey.
Roddy and the boys.
You know how much respect
Kyle!
you know how much love I have for you. And if you want to do this on your own, do it on your own.
Oh. It's not going to last, is it? Interesting.
Yeah. This Saturday, first match back, and I'm going to do it on my own.
Good luck.
Oh, I quite like this. Yeah, I'm into that. Main event time. Have we seen Mercedes for the last time tonight? There's got to be a reason that this is going on last.
Your girl Willow Nightingale.
I don't know. Willow's been great. Really, really like Willow's stuff. A reminder, I'm just going to plug a few bits. First of all, hit the like button. Second of all, we've got Twitch streams every single weekday. Keep an eye out for the notification. Twitch.tv/Cultaholic. And I'll be back on Sunday with, after 3 years, which is longer than Kyle O'Reilly's been out injured. So this is the real human story on offer. I'll be returning to Red Dead Redemption 2, and I'll let you know via Instagram. There's Mercedes, I think. If we're seeing her now, might not see her again. I don't know.
Mercedes Moné, a very interested onlooker. Our main event, big business, next.
Ad break time. I think that's it for the plugs. We've got some cool stuff coming this weekend, though. So keep an eye on your sub feed as well. Adam is the Red Dead pothead. I don't smoke doobies. The wacky backy. Plug your bits, Adam. All right, come on. I'm a bit of a casual. Is Kyle O'Reilly related to the Star Wars guy? That's a piss take. There's no way that's real, is there? Nope. Yeah, I think Sam's doing trucks tomorrow. As far as I know, Sam's doing trucks tomorrow. No, there's no 2K video with Triple Jump planned this year. Hopefully, they book us in next year for it. But we do have we do have some other 2K stuff coming up at the beginning of April. And Andrew, every Monday, is streaming the Women's My Rise mode, which you will forgive me for forgetting the name of. Anyway, he's doing that. I can't remember the two titles of it, Unleashed and something else. He's doing that. He's doing that. So keep an eye out on Twitch notifications for that. Is it Unleashed? Is it Unleashed? Is it Unleashed and Undisputed? I think that's right. I think I did Undisputed, didn't I? I loved it. I thought it was a great game. I really, really enjoy what they're putting out. It's very much just sort of improving and tweaking on last year's game. But I think last year's game was so good anyway. I think they've got like the level of simulation and arcade just right. It's far more simulation than arcade, obviously. But I think they've gotten really good at creating a game where you can actually have matches with proper high drama. Like I did a match. It was the main event, in fact, I guess, of the streams. It was me versus Roman at WrestleMania Night 2. I'd had a match the night before, and then I did the Night 2 Roman Reigns match. I'd have watched it on telly. It was so good. We don't need wrestlers anymore. We've got video games, is what I'm saying. I think it's my favourite in 2K's series. Legit. I really do think that. And I've been playing wrestling games. Even when I was out of love with wrestling, I still picked up the games. I've been playing wrestling games since Royal Rumble for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. I think that's the first one that I ever played. But then I went back and I played, I think, was it called Super WrestleMania? Or was it just WrestleMania for the NES?
Picking up a huge victory for Lion Hook. Chris, I know that you've had your attention on Hook, but did he earn your respect tonight?
Lion Hook. Yeah, that's good, Renee. I'll say this.
Yeah, you told her to say it, Jericho.
Are no joke, and Hook rose to the occasion tonight. He showed me he doesn't just have potential, he's got future world champion written all over him.
Still potential.
As much as I learned by standing in the ring next to you, I still need to know more. I need to know what it's like to be standing in the ring across from you, Hook. That's why next week on Dynamite,
What?
live from Toronto, I'm challenging you, Lionheart Chris Jericho versus Hook in AEW for the first time.
Okay, Jericho Hook next week. Okay. Sure. Okay, main event time. 20-minute time limit. It's 10-2, Dasher. Overrun. It could happen. God bless Stokely Hathaway. Good fun. She's a great babyface. Jericho wants the FTW title. It's on the line. I probably won't get a Chris Jericho tattoo home alone, but it's a nice idea, isn't it? Yeah, I think Stokely's the bollocks. Really, really love him. I think he's got the best Twitter game in the biz. He's up there with Nia Jax. Nia's great on Twitter, but every single one of Stokely's tweets, banger. And I don't understand why they didn't see how brilliant he was in WWE. I think he was a big loss for them. I just think everything he does, he just adds value to, doesn't he? He's a very entertaining man. Probably won't get a Fozzy tattoo either, or a Tavish one, but thank you. Stokely is underappreciated. I agree. You remind me of Riho. In what way, Sam J? In what way do I remind you of Riho? I want to see Adam playing the Wrestling Empire series. Would be funny. I've never played them. Is it a Wrestling Manager sort of game? I used to play... I've done a bit of M. Dickey stuff before. Back to her feet. Goofy over-the-top game. It has TNT in it. No, I'm not. Totally unfamiliar. Totally unfamiliar. I used to love SmackDown 2 Know Your Role. But I was a big fan. Only really, I think, because I played it recently. And man, it's crap. Of WCW Thunder. Does anyone remember that? But it was because it had the massive, massive roster. And you'd press square on them, and they'd give you a little promo as well. And you could change their affiliation. Like, there were so many stables. So you could be like NWO, Black and White. You could be Wolfpack. You could be LWO. You could be Four Horsemen. You could be in Raven's Flock. And it didn't even change anything, I don't think. It just had a different logo. But it was a sort of like roster management thing I'd never really seen on a video game before. It was really good at the time. I mean, you play old wrestling games back, and a lot of them, it's all nostalgia, isn't it? No Mercy's not as good as people make out, and I don't care if I get loads of heat for that. SmackDown 2 was better than No Mercy. By a mile. By a mile. Willow on fire right now. Played it at a friend's place often. What, Thunder? The only one I didn't have, because I couldn't afford a Dreamcast, my friend Jim had Royal Rumble. And you'd do a Royal Rumble, but the roster was so small. I want to say it was like 12 people. So you'd do a Royal Rumble, but you would get like, not like Three Faces of Foley. You'd have the Godfather coming out. Not in like Godfather, Goodfather, Papa Shango. I probably picked a bad example there. He'd just be wearing a different colour hat each time. But it was a fun game. It was fast-paced, really arcadey.
Success and championships and whatnot, you understand the impact her body can sustain. It's the girl.
Willow very much in control right now. Flattening Riho. Never played a 2K game. I genuinely, I think you're missing out. 24 is really, really decent. Dodgers. Yeah, 2K20. Maybe avoid that one. I've got a feeling last year's is free on... I think it's free on PlayStation. I don't know about Xbox. But if you want to see sort of what it's like, give it a go. Used to love SmackDown vs. Raw. 2007 was my favourite. I struggle to remember because they all sort of blend into one for me, but it's certainly when I like... I think it's the one that I had for the PSP, and I couldn't believe that I was playing something quite so good on a mobile console. 2011 was really good, wasn't it? I don't have a costume plan for Mania because it got me a load of crap last year, and people said I just looked like Mr. Bean. It was, you know what it was meant to be. It was obvious. I had a big bloody American flag skull tattoo on my neck, and people still said, oh, why are you dressed as Mr. Bean? Despite the fact that Mr. Bean isn't bleach blonde. And I don't look like Mr. Bean. I know my hair was awful, Jenna. It was a mistake. Took 3 months to grow that out. Made the mistake. Not again. When did you stop watching wrestling? Very, very, very late 2001 to very, very early 2007. Maybe late 2006. So, that period, I'm not too hot on in the same way that I'd like the Attitude Era. I watched every week. WCW, Raw, SmackDown. I'd catch both weekly WCW shows, actually. Oh, well, the two big ones, Nitro and Thunder. Saw it all. Riho. 619. Going up top. I feel like I missed a lot of good stuff. And actually, I came into it when there was a lot of crap. And I stuck with it as well. Like, 2009, 2012 to 2012 wasn't the hottest period. There was good stuff still. But I think in part it was a bit of a weird transitional period. Imagine a promo battle between CM Punk and Ospreay. I love Ospreay's promos. Love them. I think Punk would body him. Still. It would be good. I'm up for it. It's not going to happen. There you go. Dynamite next week. We will hear from Mercedes Moné. Another promo. Cannot wait for that. I think Copeland might be getting the belt back. I can't quite figure it out. Misses it. Eli, I don't think that's a bad shout, mate. I don't think that's a bad shout at all. There's got to be a reason this is going on last. I think that's the biggest match that I want to see. The match that I want to see the most for Mercedes, now she's in AEW, is Britt versus Mercedes. DMD versus CEO. Writes itself. Because I think Britt's the bollocks. What? You can see Adam's Kitchen on Triple Jump's channel. Let the dude have his own space away from the YouTube world. People are asking to see my kitchen. It's a kitchen. It's not that interesting. I'm not that interesting. But thank you. Oh, is she at South by Southwest? People asking for a house tour. It's tremendously unimpressive. But thank you for taking a weird interest in my personal life. Oh my god, she got flattened by her own move there. Straight back up. Willow properly landed on her. Foot stomp. Just the two. Just the two. About to start overrun. It's been good. It's been a really decent episode of Dynamite. What do you guys reckon? You into it? High knee. Springs back. Massive lariat. Average. Real fun show. Great main event. I think it's been decent. I think AEW on a pretty hot run at the moment. I think things are really picking back up. I think Mercedes will assist with that. Okada. Ospreay. Rolls through. Hoists her up. Dr. Bomb. There you go. 1, 2. That's your lot. Decent main event, that. Good win for Willow. Ups and downs. I like some things, not bothered about others. Yeah, it's going to be the same with any show, isn't it? I think there are a lot more ups than there were downs. Sorry, Simon. Stealing your bit. I've enjoyed it as well, Home Alone. Yeah, I think it's been a really fun one. Is that your lot? Are we getting something else? Is that it? Check in on her opponent. Thanks for the great contest. Lovely hug. Just a second. No? Are you doing Raw and SmackDown before Mania? Almost certainly, yes. Yeah, I like doing the go-homes. And I'll be doing... Wait a second. Wait a ruddy bloody second. Told you there's a reason. What's happening here? Brit. CEO. Julia. Sky Blue with the attack. Somebody coming to make the save. Here comes Mercedes. Making the save. Surely. Hit the music. Come on. CEO. CEO. Did I say hater? Heart. Here we go. Here we go. It's Gunther! It's not. Listen to the crowd. That's Austrian Menace, Mercedes Moné. It sounds the same, doesn't it? It's the same song. Does she want the title? Very nice. Great to see her back. The Ring General. Crowd are so hot. Big hug. And she won. She won the impromptu tornado tag. What a fantastic... That was really good. Really good episode. Enjoyed it. That's right. It's all about her. Nice finish, eh? Nice way to finish up. Happy with that. Can't wait to see what she does. Cannot wait. Good first night. Next week, Kingston versus Okada for the Continental Championship. Solo. Just the one belt. Should be alright, shouldn't it? It must be awkward just dancing like that for ages. It's been about 2 minutes now. We're still live. Keep doing the dance. It is awkward. There we go. Hugs and kisses. Lovely end. A nice happy ending. on big business. Dancing to that like that to this music is a hell of a contrast. It doesn't work quite. She's back at it. She's back at it. Beautiful stuff. Very nice. No signal from venue. We're done. Thank you. Really, really had fun tonight. Cheers, everybody. Shut this down before I say goodbye. Cheers. So, yeah, next time I see you will be Sunday over on Twitch. And then, yeah, I forgot about those earlier. I normally do the go-home shows, so I'll probably see you for the go-home Raw, the go-home SmackDown. And then we'll have Jack and Ross, NXT, over on Twitch. Twitch is where it's all at. Check us out there. And then WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. Cheers to everybody for being here. It's been fun. Nice one. I will see you when I see you. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Good night. And God bless.